Hello friends, as students who try to understand physics, we must be thorough with measurements in the system, in this field. Particularly in today's class, we will learn about length measurement. Because the field of physics evolves over time through various experiments and observations. And measurement is an important aspect of all observations that we make. While we make a measurement, we need to have a reference standard because when we observe or measure a quantity, we are actually comparing that quantity with some sort of reference. We call that reference as unit. This standard, reference standard, with which we compare the measured quantity is called unit. Now, according to the system of international measurements, the system international, there are basically 7 units, fundamental units that are defined, and most of the other units are derived units from these fundamental units. So the 7 units are, in order to measure length, we use meter. Its symbol is given by m. In order to measure mass, we have the standard unit kilogram. Its symbol is kg. To measure time, we use second as the standard fundamental unit. Its symbol is S. To measure electric current, we have ampere as our unit and A is its symbol. To measure temperature, Kelvin is the standard fundamental unit and K is its symbol. To measure amount of substance, mole is the unit and MOL is its symbol. And to measure luminous intensity, candela is the fundamental unit and its symbol is CD. Now coming back to the length measurement. What is length? How can we define length? So we can define it like it is the distance of separation between 2 points in space. So if we have 2 points in space, what is its distance? That we call as length. When we say about length of an object, we are actually saying the distance between the two endpoints of this object. That is what is measured as length. To measure length, we have different systems and apparatuses. For example, in the standard system, we measure it in meters or in centimeter, millimeter or other units. There are also other units like foot or yard or arm length or the finger length that we can use to measure length. And apparatuses like rulers, tapes, micrometers, screw gauges, vernier calipers, etc. can be used to measure different ranges of length. Now first let us look into the working principle of a ruler that we use commonly to measure length. For example, if we want to measure the length of an eraser, we keep it close to the ruler and we try to position one end of this object which is measured along this zero marking, and we look at the end of this object and see where it makes its position. So this length will be equivalent to corresponding length on the ruler, and here we can note that this length is 5 centimeter. As you know, in a common ruler, the markings are 1 centimeter is marked with numbers, say 0, 1, 2, 3 correspond to 0 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter and so on. And in between these markings, large markings defined as centimeters, we have smaller divisions, 10 smaller divisions, and hence each of these smaller divisions will be millimeters. So if the eraser is a little projected outwards, we can say it will be about 5.2 millimeter or 5.3 millimeter depending upon its end position. So the smallest value that you can measure with a ruler will be 1 millimeter. Here centimeters are marked and it is further divided into 10. So 1 millimeter can be measured using this ruler. So that is 0.1 centimeter. 1 millimeter is 0.1 centimeter. Now this is the functioning of a ruler. We commonly use ruler for measuring length, and centimeter and millimeter are commonly marked on a ruler. Now coming to the definition of a standard meter, let us try to understand the historical evolution of this concept of standard meter. How do we know that 1 meter is exact or precise? Earlier in the 17th century, when people started to define these units in a standard way, rather than the systems followed in the ancient regimes, people started to use various physical phenomena and various physical parameters in order to define standard units. So when the case of the meter came, like how to define 1 meter, people thought about defining it in terms of the circumference of the earth. For example, the circumference of the earth, or the complete perimeter of this cross section of the earth, is approximately 4 into 10 raised to 7 meter. That is, if we start from the North Pole and cover a complete length up to the South Pole and return back to the North Pole, then the total distance traveled will be 4 into 10 raised to 7 meter. So the distance from the North Pole up to the equator will be 1/4 of this length. So divide this by 4, this is equal to 1 into 10 raised to 7 meter. So that is the distance between North Pole and the equator. So people try to define a meter as 1/10 raised to 7 of the distance between North Pole and the equator. So we know from the North Pole up to the equator we have 10 raised to 7 meter. So 1/10 raised to 7 parts of this length was first defined as the standard meter. But as we know, it is very difficult to measure this length, and it is very difficult to be used as a universal system of measurement. How can we measure the distance between the North Pole and the equator? So in order to use for practical purposes, some academicians and scientists in Paris try to accurately build a standard unit, a standard platinum rod, which actually measures 1 meter. So this happened in the 18th century, in 1700s. They could actually build a platinum rod which was exactly equal to 1 meter length. Later in 1889, this platinum rod was redefined and a platinum iridium alloy rod was constructed in Paris, and that length was kept as the standard meter. So if we want to exactly make one scale that has the length of 1 meter, we might have to go to Paris in 1889. We might have to go to Paris and compare the length of our rod with that of the standard meter, this platinum iridium alloy kept there, and we have to construct this meter scale that is being built. So by 1889, this standard meter was copied and made in different countries. For example, in 30 different places, this alloy rod was built having the exact same measurement as this platinum iridium alloy kept in Paris. So whenever we want to measure something, a standard meter, without having any difference or any error, we will have to compare it with the rod in the Paris, this platinum iridium rod in the Paris, and we have to make sure our scale is correct. So this was the standard meter that was kept in Paris, and this was the standard reference with which all measurements were compared in this time period. And other peculiarities of this rod were the temperature that was made during measurements were 273.16 Kelvin, or approximately 0 degrees Celsius, which is the melting point of water. Then 1 bar pressure. So if these parameter changes, we know it will have an effect on the volume or the size of this platinum iridium alloy. So exactly at these temperature and pressure, the length of the platinum iridium alloy was equal to 1 meter. Now this was kept in the International Bureau of Weights and Measures at Sèvres near Paris. But we know this is very difficult to be kept as a reference standard, because if someone want to measure 1 meter in India, he might want to go to Paris and prepare a meter scale by comparing it with the standard meter scale at the Paris, and then he will have to come back to India and make the measurement. So this is not a universal system. So people again try to define 1 meter in terms of some universal phenomenon or some natural phenomenon. So in 1960, a new definition of meter came, and this is based on some atomic standards. Krypton 86, an isotope of krypton, actually emits a kind of radiation whose wavelength is exactly known to be 16,50,763.73. That is the wavelength of this Krypton 86, which emits an orange light in an electric discharge, and its wavelength lambda is known. So from this definition, the standard meter was defined. The wavelength of this light is not this value. The wavelength of the Krypton 86 emission is actually known. It is defined as lambda, and 16,50,763.73 times this wavelength is defined as 1 meter. I think I mentioned this to be the wavelength. This is not the wavelength. The wavelength lambda is known. It is a standard value, and multiply that wavelength with this value, to get 1 meter, and that is defined as 1 meter by 1960. As we can see, this is more accurate and this is universal. So anyone in any place can actually find Krypton 86 and its wavelength, and they can multiply that wavelength by this value to find 1 meter. Then they can construct some standard meter scales based on these values. So this is based on a universal natural phenomenon, but as we can see, this is very difficult to be measured, this wavelength. First we will have to measure lambda, and then we will have to compare, multiply, rescale, and build our units and measurements based on that. In order to have a more accurate measurement, later by 1983, a final definition based on the speed of light c was made. So according to this definition, a meter is the length of path traveled by light in vacuum during the time interval equal to the reciprocal of the speed of light. So we know the speed of light c is 299792458 meter per second. And if this is the speed of light will travel this much length in 1 second, right? So how much time will it take to travel 1 meter? So speed is known. Speed into time is the distance traveled. So in order to find the distance traveled, which we will define as 1 meter, we can find this time taken, right? We know c is 299792458. Multiply with t to get 1. What will be this time? Time will be 1 by 299792458, right? The reciprocal of this value. So we can define 1 meter as the distance traveled by light. This is the speed of light in 1 by 299792458 seconds. The inverse of the speed of light. If we take that as the time period, then what will be the length traveled by a light ray. That is defined as 1 meter in the standard definition that we use now. So in any place, anyone can measure the speed of light and rescale it to find the exact measurement of 1 meter. Now some of the common other terms that we will see when we come to using this metric system. So these are the prefixes that we use in this metric system. In order to say about large scales of length, we normally use kilo, mega and giga. 1 kilo is 10 raised to 3 and hence 1 kilometer is 10 raised to 3 meter. Similarly, 1 mega is 10 raised to 6 and hence 1 megameter is 10 raised to 6 meter. Similarly, giga is 10 raised to 9 and 1 gigameter is 10 raised to 9 meter. And to mention about smaller scales, we use prefixes like deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, pico and femto. So as you can see, deci is 10 raised to minus 1 or 0.1 meter. Centi is 10 raised to minus 2 or 0.01 meter will be 1 centimeter. Milli is 10 raised to minus 3 or 0.001 meter will be 1 millimeter, or you can simply write 10 raised to minus 3 meter. 1 centimeter is 10 raised to minus 2 meter. 1 decimeter is 10 raised to minus 1 meter. Similarly, 1 micrometer is 10 raised to minus 6 meter. 1 nanometer is 10 raised to minus 9 meter. 1 picometer is 10 raised to minus 12 meter and 1 femtometer is 10 raised to minus 15 meter. When we come to atomic scales, we normally use this unit of femtometer, and when we come to smaller nanoparticles, we measure it in terms of nanometer, and we often measure the thickness of the wire or small rods in terms of centimeter, millimeter, etc. And to measure large distances, we use kilometers, megameters, etc. And in the astronomical units, when we say about astronomical distances or very much large distances, there are some other units too. One is light year. Light year is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. So 1 light year is approximately equal to 9.46 into 10 raised to 15 meter. Another unit is astronomical unit. Astronomical unit is the average distance between Sun and Earth. So if you assume that Earth orbits around the Sun in circular orbits, you can define the radius of this orbit as 1 astronomical unit, and its value is approximately equal to 1.496 into 10 raised to 11 meter. So these units are used to mention about the distances between stars and various celestial bodies. So these are about length measurement, standard meter, and various tools that we use for measuring length. We will see about various other tools like micrometer, screw gauge, vernier calipers, radar, sonar, etc. that we use to measure length. As of now, I hope that this concept about length and the basic concept about standard meter is clear for you. Thank you.